Hey, Wonder Hessie here. Today I'm up in Utah in the area around Moab and the Green River. I'm hiking to a GPS coordinate for a scavenger hunt. Well, kind of like a scavenger hunt, treasure hunt. If you've watched my video about hiking to the Albatross in Death Valley, it's the same group that sponsored this hunt. And there's a cash reward if I can make it to this GPS coordinate and then take a photo there and send it back to headquarters. I think it's about a 5-mile hike from here. We're kind of at the Nefertiti Rock trailhead, I guess. I mean, the route looks pretty easy. It's flat for most of the way. For this hike, there's a couple of noteworthy developments for you in my hiking gear. Now, first of all, I am carrying my Hike and Strike. If you've watched my video about this, it's a hiking pole that has a 950,000 volt stun gun in the handle and a flashlight as well. So if I do encounter any wildlife or, you know, nefarious rapists, murderers, that kind of thing, well, at least I have a stun gun to help defend myself. Probably more importantly, I finally got hiking boots. Woo! These are funky looking hiking boots, I know. Sorry that my leg's all beat up, by the way. Look at this. I don't know if you can see, but my leg got really scraped up when I was at this festival last weekend and I was drunk and tripped and fell on a bush or something. I don't know. Anyways, that wasn't the point of this. I was trying to show you my hiking boots. Look, they're called Hoka 11. They were $240. They're really expensive and they look really weird, like clown shoes. They have this real chunky, almost like a platform sole. Look at it. It looks like the Spice Girls back in the day. I got them because they were supposed to be, or they were rated the most comfortable hiking boot on the market by Outdoor Gear Lab. And for me, comfort was paramount because I hate wearing shoes. I mean, if you've been watching my videos, you probably know I really hate to wear anything except for flip-flops. I have really long toes. If I have them crumpled up inside a toe box of most shoes, it's painful. Like literally, I got blisters on my toes because I had to wear boots at this gig I did a couple weeks ago. So I need something with a very roomy toe box, basically. And well, these clown shoes here are supposedly, you know, comfortable. I don't know. I'm doing a 10-mile hike in them for the first time, which probably isn't advisable, but I didn't have time to break them in, so we'll see. But if they do, you know, start giving me blisters or become uncomfortable, guess what? I brought my flip-flops on. They're tied on my backpack, so I'll change into them if I have to. But so far, these things feel like I'm walking on clouds. And they are available in different colors. I just chose the funkiest colors because, I don't know, if I'm gonna get some boots, I'm gonna get some boots. I just felt like they were kind of me, you know? Plus I like that little platform because it gives me an extra inch of height. I'm only 5'3", and I have a pretty bad Napoleon complex. So that extra inch makes all the difference. All right, so here we are. Just set off on this little trailhead. My sister, as usual, did all the mapping of the route using this really cool app on her phone. It's called Gaia, but you can map out hiking routes using topography and stuff ahead of time and then download it to your phone. But if that falls through, look at this. Speaking of developments in my gear, I have this Garmin satellite phone. Wow! Well, it has an SOS button that you can push in an emergency, and even if you're someplace with no cell signal, it'll send a message to the emergency rescue people, and they'll come save your life, supposedly. So that's cool that I have that, and it also functions as a GPS tracker. Ooh, that reminds me, I should turn it on. Let's see. Okay, I turned this thing on, and I programmed in the coordinates as a waypoint, so I should just be able to click right on that, and then hit navigate. Holy cow. I mean, just look at how beautiful this canyon is, and this trail, it's just amazing. And there's all kinds of cool little, look, the little caterpillar with a dead ant riding along on his back. Look at this guy. Oh, and by the way, that's my sister's dog. So as if the 950,000 volt stun gun isn't enough, I'm also rolling with a pit bull. Oh, and guess what else I'm rolling with? A bug bracelet. This is like the safest hike I've ever done. I'm protected against bugs, bears, killers, snakes, stub toes, and sunburn. Whew, it is hot out here. And since it's so desolate on this river, and I don't think I'm gonna run into anybody on this trail, I decided to take my shirt off and hike topless. I'm not trying to make a political statement or be offensive to anybody, but I'm hot. And if I was a guy, I could take my shirt off and nobody would bat an eyelash. So I will just be shooting myself from the neck up from this point on in the video. Hear that? This is open range. There's a bunch of cows chilling back there. They got freaked out because my sister's dog, I think. Anyways, I stopped here because look at this beautiful, salty little creek that's coming down here. I mean, this water must be super salty. Look how white it is and crusty. This just kind of flows all the way down back to the Green River. But we're almost to the site. We only got about a half mile more to go, so gonna push on. Woo! All right, I'm almost to these GPS coordinates. Now, I looked at the coordinates on Google Earth, obviously, before I set out on this hike, and it looks like there's some kind of old stone ruins, like there was some kind of fort or mine. I can't imagine what it was because, man, this canyon is desolate. We've been hiking for 3 hours and haven't seen a single solitary soul. And we've seen a beer can and a Gatorade bottle, so I know footprints. People do come out here occasionally, but not often. So I can't imagine back in the day what kind of a deal was going on here. But I can tell we're getting closer because look, that's obviously a man-made wall or retaining wall, I guess, so that they built there. And then over the hump that way, there was another one as well. So whatever they were doing out here, they were shoring up this trail for some reason. Wow, look, I think we finally made it. If you can see, there's a little stone cabin down on this kind of little peninsula looking out of the river. Oh, wow. I can't imagine who built this thing way out here and what it was used for, but maybe there's some kind of a plaque or something describing it, or some kind of information we can get, clues exploring the site. Wow, look at this cabin. It's amazing. I mean, I've been to a lot of abandoned cabins in Death Valley and in the desert around like the Mojave Desert, and I've been to some really nice ones, but most of those weren't made of stone. Look at this stone, and I guarantee it's quarried from right around here, because where else would they have drug it in from? It's that same beautiful reddish color. Look at the roof. This is cool. So there's two buildings. First we'll go in this one. This looks like maybe it was like a storehouse or something. Look, I mean, the roof's mostly gone. But, I mean, the walls are still solid. Look at the door frame, man. That's solid construction. I mean, I couldn't even guess how old this thing is, but I'm gonna guess old, like 1800s old. Okay, now let's look in this main cabin. This house is a lot bigger. Looks like it had at least 2 rooms. Again, it's made out of that same stone with some kind of mortar. I mean, maybe it's just the dirt here. They mixed the dirt with water because it's kind of this very sandy, dusty kind of soil. So I guess maybe it has like a clay-like quality to it. I'm not sure. Really interesting. Wow, look at this place. It's pretty schwanky. That was a pretty solid building. 2-room building. 2 doors, 2 windows. I wonder if it was a duplex. Go in this door. Look at this room. Nature's taken back over. Grass for a carpet. Juniper bush for curtains. Oh, look, here's some kind of a note that was left. Maybe this has some information. Notice from the Department of the Interior. Cultural resources in the vicinity of this notice are fragile and irreplaceable. The Archaeological Resources Protection Act of 1979 and the Antiquities Act of 1906 protect them for the benefit of all Americans. Enjoy, but do not destroy your American heritage. Okay, so really it doesn't say what this place was, but it does ask you not to destroy anything or take anything, and I think that's pretty cool. I always follow the leave no trace ethic, you know? And that goes for not taking anything either. Or take only photos, leave only footprints. Wow, look at this rusty old wheelbarrow. Dang, I wonder how old that thing is. I mean, look at the wooden frame on it. That's gotta have been an old wheelbarrow from olden times. And then this looks like it was a stove. One of those really old cast iron stoves. I'm just guessing because of those circular shaped holes. Looks like burners. But oh look, the interior here, it almost looks like it was plastered over with some white stuff that people have tried to scrape their names into. So interesting. Who lived here? And what kind of a life did they have? Oh, you want to see something funny? Look at the roof. I don't know if you can see that, but there's cactus growing on the roof. How cute. They'll grow anywhere. Yeah, being in this place makes me wonder who lived here and what kind of a lonely life did they lead? I mean, look at the view out the window. This amazing private beach and this gorgeous canyon. You go out your front door and you're facing all this beauty. What a peaceful place to live. Gorgeous. And I guess you would occasionally see travelers coming down the river. I think even back in the 1800s, there was river traffic. Look at all this graffiti in here. It's kind of cool. HAM 1981. Good luck. Uh-oh, look here. Jungle Bunny. Man, a lot of this stuff is so worn away you can't even read it. Looks like Roland. Let's see what's over here. There's more graffiti. Looks like there was a Brian in 1979. Dang! Here's some. G.W. Hayduke was here. 8/18/83. G.W. Hayduke, if you're watching this video, holla at me. You're cool. This is Florence Gilbert. I can't remember what that says. November 28, 1949. No way. Do you guys think that's real? I really hope you can see that in this video. It's kind of hard to tell in this light if you can see that or not. It says it's in this old-timey pencil cursive. So that does kind of look like old-timey handwriting, right? Just, would pencil really last that long? I don't know. That's crazy. I've never seen graffiti that old. Well, aside from petroglyphs. Look here, you can see all that mud running down the plaster. Wow. I guess over time, it rains occasionally. Just comes melting down the wall. That is a trip. Look how thick this is. But it's crumbly. Yeah, it's crumbly. Just dried up silt. Far out, man. That graffiti is a trip. That's one of my favorite things that I've ever seen, if that's for real. Florence. Oh, I can't tell. Is this Albert, Colbert maybe? Looks like it's something like Pierce, Utah. November, and November is spelled the French way. November 28, 1949. Wow, that was pretty cool in that building. And then there's this kind of, looks like there was a corral or a paddock of some sort next to the building where they probably kept their, maybe they had pack mules to get supplies in and out. I mean, I don't even know where the closest town is over that ridge. I mean, my sister and I are camping way down that way. I mean, we hiked 5 miles and we drove another 2 or 3. So at least 8 miles down that way to the campground. And from there, I think it was like 11 miles into the town of Green River. So we're like at least 20, 30 miles from any sort of settlement. I mean, maybe back then there was some kind of settlement up there, but you think there'd still be roads or something? I mean, I guess everything must have been brought to them on the river, you know, by boat. In which case, why would they have a paddock? Well, maybe they were practicing animal husbandry. Maybe they had some cows and pigs and stuff, and that was, you know, where they kept their farm animals. Oh, look, here's a nice view of those cactus on top of the roof. I don't know why, I just think that's so funny. Cactus on the roof. Look at that. Now people pay big bucks for those rooftop gardens, right? Living rooftops or whatever they call them. You could get one out here for free. All right, then down the path there's another little cabin or storehouse. Check that out. Look at this. It's like almost looks like an old seesaw, but look who's on top of it. Oh, little lizard. Hey feller. Oh, there he goes. Now check out this. This is kind of a dugout. See how it's built back up into the side of the hill a bit? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of has a root cellar type purpose, but I don't know. Look, there's chicken wire on the window, so maybe it was a chicken coop. Let's see. Look at the old hinge. How freaking old do you think that hinge is? I mean, this was from the era before things were made in factories and stamped with manufacture dates. Some blacksmith probably made that, and it was so hard to make things that the last thing he wanted to do was carve his name into every dang thing he made, right? Oh, what's this? Some kind of... Pardon my hiking strike. I don't know. It's like a lid to a jar or what? Interesting. Oh, maybe it had something to do with this thing. Oh, holy cow, that's heavy. I don't know. Is that thing really old? That is so perfectly made. It looks like it had to have been machined. I don't know much about... I mean, it's heavy. I think it's iron. Oh, look. Well, first of all, it says 3 1/4. Then it says 10, and then here it says A.Y.M. McDonald, maybe? A.Y. McDonald. Dubious. Looks like maybe Dubois, but it looks like it's a Dubious. Morrison Company. Oh, Dubois. Oh, Dubuque, Iowa. Okay, Dubuque, Iowa. So the A.Y. McDonald Morrison Company from Dubuque, Iowa. 34, 3 1/4 and 10. What is that? Does anybody know anything about this piece? Because that might be a major clue as to what was going on at this lonely little encampment. Old spider webs up in the corner. Man, the roof in this building is, well, on this side it's very solid. That side's got some planks missing, but what on God's green earth were these people doing way out here? So this proves that I was at the site of these GPS coordinates that my good friends at Victoria Island GPS sent me to. Really a neat place, and I gotta wonder, the guy who organizes these contests, how, like, he gets around. How did he even know this stuff was out here? He must have gone rafting on this river back in the day and saw it off to the side and looked it up or something. I'm gonna have to Google this, but I don't even know how to Google it. I guess you could put Stone Cabins, Green River, Poverty Canyon. We're kind of near Poverty Canyon. We just passed through Poverty Canyon, where that, kind of by where that salty creek was. Wow, what a mystery. I love mysteries like this. And how are my hiking boots doing? Doing great, man. I am not lying. I hate wearing shoes, and I would be more comfortable if I was wearing flip-flops, but these things have been great to hike in. They have these weird Vibram soles. They're super light, and because they're so platformy and cushioned, man, it feels like you're walking on clouds. I'm not trying to make any money from these people or anything. I'm not doing a commercial for them. I'm just being honest. Wow, far out. There's actually rafters on the river. You see those people and their little rafts? It's the first people we've seen all day on this hike. Now, I imagine if we were doing this hike during the high season, like summer, it'd be a lot more busy on the river. But right now it's only April 18th, right after Easter, so it's not even spring break. And you can see it's pretty deserted out there. So keep that in mind if you want to raft this Green River, which it has some pretty good rapids. You probably, depending on your preference for crowds, want to go, you know, earlier in the year. But I bet that water is cold. On the other hand, if you're into partying and you like a nice river traffic jam, check it out after Memorial Day. Woo! Finally made it back to the parking lot, the trailhead. That was a butt kicker of a hike. I think it was about 10 miles round trip. In fact, my sister and her dog still haven't finished it because her dog is really not enjoying it. These Hoka 1-1 boots really served me well. I mean, this is the first time I wore them, and that was a 10-mile hike with an unbroken in pair of boots. They seem to have done okay. I mean, I feel a little soreness, tenderness on one of my heels. Let's sit down and take them off and see how gnarly my feet are under there. I mean, I'm a mess. Look at this. Remember I was telling you earlier how I fell down and cut my knee when I was partying last weekend at Freedom Days in Ballarat. Okay, drugs are bad, okay? And alcohol is a drug, okay? All right, here's foot number 1. You ready for the big reveal? Hope you have a foot fetish. They even wear socks. I usually don't even wear socks. Ugh, I hate socks and shoes. Looks good. A little wrinkly. Now, here you can see I have a scab, but that's from, I was telling you earlier at the beginning of the video how I don't like to wear shoes because they hurt my long toes. That's from some boots I was wearing last week. It wasn't even hiking. Anyways, this one here though, feels a little sore. So let's see what's going on in shoe number 2. I mean, these things really are, they're super lightweight for as clunky as they look. And those Vibram soles there are no joke. They're very grippy on the rocks. Okay, here comes the sock. Sock number 2. Whoa, yuck. Okay, so I feel a couple sore spots on this foot over here, but that doesn't look like there's a blister. And then here's where it really hurts. If I'm gonna have a blister at all, it's gonna be right here. Oh, yep, I see it right there. All right, well, 1 blister on a 10-mile hike in unbroken and brand new boots, that's not bad. I give these Hoka 1-1s my seal of approval, and I'll definitely be wearing them on my next hike, which is supposed to be tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to walk tomorrow after this. Well, I do have one more walk to take in my beloved flip-flops. I just want to walk right down here into the water and cool off my poor barking dogs. Ah. Oh yeah, it feels so good. Ever go on one of those really long sweaty hikes and then put your feet in the river? Oh, just amazing. Now it's time to go back to camp, cook up some delicious Frito pie for dinner on the beautiful Green River of fabulous Utah. Oh wow, look, I was on my way out in the car and we were driving back to our campsite and I found petroglyphs. Really pretty good petroglyphs. Now, according to a friend of mine who knows a lot about petroglyphs and is actually working on a documentary about them, for whatever reason, like every culture around the world draws some form of antlered deer type animal in their petroglyphs, whether it be an ibex or a bighorn sheep. Well, there's more of them. Look at this, is a pretty perfectly preserved one. That's pretty cool. Whatever Indians lived here also loved bighorn sheep or ibex or antelope, whatever that is. I guess the primitive peoples thought they were spirits of the gods or something.